Welcome to Table for One. I'm the narrator, and in today's video, I'll be doing a solo playthrough of Ultramassive. Let's get rolling. Alright, so I'm nearly set up here to play a solo game of Ultramassive. And I should say at the outset that this game was provided to me by the publisher. I did not purchase this one myself, but I've played it a few times now, and I do like it. So I'm pretty happy to be making this playthrough video. That being said, while I do like it, I have not been very good at it. So we'll see how this goes. So I'm going to talk a little bit about setup, as well as a slight printing error that I had in my copy of the game. So stick around for that and how to resolve it. And then I'll do the playthrough, and then I'll give you my thoughts at the end. And of course, there's chapter markers for all that stuff, so you can click ahead to the spot you like if that's something you want to do. But over here, we've got our main board, and all you have to do on that is place your player token, like your score tracker, which is just these circles on this side. If you get over 100, there's 100 on the back. Pretty standard there. And then this silver round marker, we're starting on round 1. I've got my player board here. We're starting with 4 of our resources, which are called discoveries. This is what you're going to spend mostly to buy anomalies, which are these cards over here. And so these are like 3 separate tech trees. So there's the siphon tech tree, matter, and orbit. And each one must start with the level 1. And then you can either go to 2A or 2B, but you cannot have both. And then from there, you can advance to 3 and advance to 4, and you must go in order. So you can kind of work your way up these different tracks. And this is a 1 to 4 player game, so there's 4 copies of each of these cards. And I just went ahead and put all 4 copies out because it was a little bit quicker to set up that way. But of course, I cannot have duplicates of any of those. And then this deck here is our action cards. So it's already shuffled, but I'll shuffle it a little more right here. Our action cards, when you play a solo game, you remove these 6 cards from the deck. So 4 siphon cards with a power level of 2 and 2 matter cards with a power level of 1. So these have been removed. I guess I will say I've only played this solo so far. I'm looking forward to trying it multiplayer. I'll talk more about it at the end, but I generally take these cards and I put them in the box like this with the rest of the action cards on top of them this way so that I can easily separate them out, or I can put them, back to back like that. But as long as, if you're only going to play this solo, you might as well just take these and put them somewhere separate so that they don't get mixed in. It'll just make setup a little bit quicker. And then in solo mode, we have resource cards and challenge cards. Now, they have similar artwork, but the research cards are more like bluish, and the challenge cards are definitely more red. I sort of started to notice this in my unboxing, but it became more clear to me later. These are resource cards. These are challenge cards. They say challenge on them. But in this case, these 4 cards have the wrong backs to them. So I did reach out to the publisher, and they said this is definitely a misprint. They haven't heard of anyone else having this issue, so maybe I'm just super lucky and I got the only ones. But these are not supposed to be like, oh, you go to draw a resource card and you get a challenge card instead. Like that is not the intent. These are just misprinted. So they're supposed to be sending me replacement cards. But if you are having this issue or any other similar issue, their advice was to go ahead and send them an email so they can resolve it. So I've got the email address up on the screen right now, but it is info@studiounknowngames.com. info@studiounknowngames.com. So send them an email if you've got a printing error like this, or any other issue with your game, or missing components, or something doesn't seem right. That's who you email, and they'll help you out with your problem. So these 4 cards, rather than play without them, I'm going to shuffle them into their decks. And I will just draw from the bottom of the decks so that I can't tell what the backs of the cards look like. That's what I'll do for this video. So I will put these 2 in here and shuffle it up a bit. Okay, so those are my challenge cards. Same thing with these resource cards. I'll put one there, shuffle them up. And as I said, I'll just draw from the bottom. Okay. Next, as we set up for our game, I've got 2 sets of wormhole tokens that I should place on my board. I'm going to put this 1 by this 7, and I'm going to put this. I'm going to put one on this 2 and this 3. I'm going to put them all on the same track, I think. Well, no. Let's mix it up. I'll put the 2 here and the 3 here. Maybe that's overly complicated. I don't know. I'm just going to put them somewhere. And now I need to take these anomaly cards that say alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, and omega. I need to shuffle these up, and these will be earned as our black hole grows. So we're starting as a primordial black hole, but we could, as our solar mass goes up, become stellar, supermassive, and ultramassive potentially. And each time we do, we can earn one of these cards. So you mix up these 6, each player would do this, deal out 3 at random and return 3 to the box. And so we get beta, gamma, and epsilon. So each time we hit one of these solar mass thresholds, we can choose any one of these to then put into play immediately. So these are out right now, but can I fit them here? It's kind of a funny place for them, but they're not part of the tech trees, so hopefully you don't find that confusing. But I'm just going to place those there just so they're on screen and we can look at them. So now I need to deal myself 3 action cards from the top of this deck. This is just the draw deck. So we've got 3 siphon cards. Okay. And these 2 are, oh no, they're all different. Okay. So I'm going to be doing some siphoning. So on my turn, I can play up to 2 of these. Let's pull these down here. This will be my hand. And now before the game starts, I need to draw 2 challenge cards. And again, I'm drawing from the bottom, 1, 2. So we didn't get any of the misprinted ones. I'll put those back on top so I can find them later when my replacements come. Oh, wait, whoopsie though. I need to draw 3 of those. Separate those a little. Let's shuffle this up again. I need a 3rd card. Got ahead of myself. Okay, we get 1 more. And now we will reveal these. And we can either play a normal game or a hard game. So if we are playing on a normal mode, we need to complete any 3 of these 6 challenges. So each card has 2 challenges on it. We need to complete any 3 and reach this threshold of 80 solar masses, which has the normal here on it. And if we want to play on hard mode, we must achieve any 5 of these challenges and get to ultramassive, get to 100 points. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I have largely enjoyed just playing the game, sort of ignoring these challenge cards and doing a beat your own score, at least as I learn the game. So I'm not focused on these a whole lot, but let's talk through them. And they're numbered here, and we just happen to draw 7, 8, 9. So I'll put them in numerical order. But as you achieve them, you would mark them with one of these cooldown cubes, and you can see each card has a challenge that immediately gives you, if you achieve it, a 3 solar mass bump, and one that gives you a 5 solar mass bump. So those are, the more difficult ones. But you can only achieve each challenge once per game. And again, I'll be playing on normal, so we're aiming for 3 of them, any 3. So let's go through card 7, both of these, and then card 8, and then card 9. So card 7 we have, in 1 orbit action, absorb at least 2 antimatter tokens. So that's, obviously encouraging some antimatter play. And then on the bottom of that card, we have exchange at least 2 discovery counters for solar mass each round for the entire game. Okay? I don't especially love either of those. Card 8 here, we have at least 1 matter or antimatter token on 4 separate spaces within a single channel. And the next one is, in 1 round, orbit a single channel at least 9 times. Wow. And finally, we have, in 1 round, gain 35 solar mass. That's quite a lot. And I'll note that there's these 2 resource trackers that you don't really use in solo mode, but I will use them to help me track how many solar mass I've gained in a single round. I'll use this one. So I'm starting at 0, and then as I gain solar mass, I'll move this up. And then that'll help me determine by the end of the round, have I gone up 35? And if the answer is no, then I will replace my current spot with the 1 That'll just help me track for the next round, have I gone up 35. So that's the way I found to play with this card. Won't really need this token. And then the last one here, do not place wormholes on the 7, 6, or 5 spaces of your board for the entire game. And man, that's kind of rough. So I guess I could move this 7 before the game starts to a 4 space to try and achieve this. Do I want to commit to that? Man, that seems tough, but I'm going to try. So I'm going to move this to a 4. I got to stay out of the 5, 6s, and 7s to try and achieve this. So we will put these challenge cards here so we can reference them as we play. And now we're ready to start with the first round. And since we're playing solo, this whole resource draft area is not used. Instead, we're going to use these resource cards, which I think, I've shuffled. I'm drawing off the bottom. I'm going to keep them here. And the first part of the round is we're going to do resource draft. So I'm going to draw 2 cards off the bottom, so I can't see the backs. And now of these 2 cards, I must pick one and fully complete as much as I can everything that is on the card. So we've got cards 10 and 15 here. And so card 15 would have me draw a supergiant and place it on the 1 spot of one of my tracks. Also add a minor antimatter and orbit 1 track, and then I must lose 1 discovery. The other card would give me a major antimatter, another major antimatter, lose 2 discovery, and then I could exchange any number of these cards in my hand for new cards drawing from the deck, and for each card that I exchange, I would gain a solar mass. And I think I'm going to go with this one. This one's kind of neat. It makes me think of this challenge here in 1 orbit action, absorb at least 2 antimatter tokens. So this would give me 2 antimatter, but they'd be on different tracks. I don't know how I would go about absorbing both of those simultaneously. And I think it's mostly going to mess me up. So yeah, I think I'll take this one. So this card goes away. We'll just set it off to the side. This one, I gain 1 supergiant star. I'm going to place that right there. And I gain 1 minor antimatter. So the antimatters are just double-sided, major and minor. So I'll put the minor there, and then I can orbit 1 track. And let's orbit the antimatter, so that's not in my way, because that can be a little dangerous. And I must pay 1 discovery, so that goes down. And now this card is used, so we set it off to the side. Next, we go to the discovery phase. So in the discovery phase, I can spend these discovery points here to acquire these cards. You can see the cost here is 2 for any of the level 1 techs. So which tree do I want to move up? The siphon tree, which allows me to take these actions more. The matter tree, which allows me to get more matter on my board here. Or the orbit tree, which allows me to push the orbit. I'm thinking probably orbit because I've got my wormholes so far back. I'm going to need the extra help to get some of these matter tokens into the black hole itself. So I'll take this level 1 orbit. This is called charged velocity. And now this effect is once per turn, I can take an orbit action on one of my tracks. So now we go to the action phase. So I can take any actions on my anomalies that have not been taken yet this round, and I can spend up to 2 of the cards from my hand. And you can see there's effects here that are sort of bracketed between these 2 black hole symbols. Those are empowered effects. And so I can only use empowered effects if I have the level 3 tech that matches, this type. So I can't use these empowered siphon effects unless I have the level 3 siphon card there. Oh, and before I forget, this anomaly costs me 2 discoveries, so that's got to go down. And then I can do these things in any order. And one thing that's kind of nice, if you are playing multiplayer, this actions phase can be done simultaneously. Every player can kind of do this on their own at the same time, so that speeds up the gameplay quite a bit. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start with this card. This allows me to siphon twice. Now I'm a primordial black hole, so when I siphon, I can either gain 1 discovery marker or gain a blue giant star to one of my tracks. And so siphon twice for both of my siphons, I'm going to decide to do a blue giant star. So these are worth 2 mass each. So this is 4 mass. There's 3 mass here. I'm going to put it on this track. That gets me up to 7 mass in that stack. There is a hard limit of 8, in a stack. So that card is spent. Now I'm going to choose to use this wormhole. And so I'm going to transport this stack to this wormhole spot. So I flip them both over to show they've been used. And now I've got my matter and my antimatter on the same track. So now I will use this siphon card. I can siphon once, and this time I'm going to gain a discovery counter, so that goes up to 2. and then I can orbit once. So I'm going to orbit the red track. So this is going to move to here, and this is going to move to here. And antimatter, when it stops on the third space, that's what this symbol is, it automatically gets absorbed into the black hole. So this is a minor antimatter, so that gets me 1 discovery counter, and then it goes away. And then that's the end of this card. And now I'm going to use this orbit effect. So it says once per turn, orbit once. I'm going to orbit that red track again, try and get all this matter closer to here. So now I've taken 2 action cards, actions, and I've used all my anomalies. I don't have any anomalies left. So that's it for the actions part of the round. I guess the other thing I can do is you can turn in some of your discovery tokens or just discovery resource. You can decrease it, and each time you decrease it, you can gain a solar mass. So again, I do have this challenge: exchange at least 2 discovery counters for solar mass each round for the entire game. So if I do that, that's going to bring my discovery track down to 1, and then I won't be able to afford any of these cards going into the next round unless I happen to get a resource draft card that lets me get at least 1 more discovery. But that is not guaranteed by any means. So I think I'm going to forego doing that, and that means I cannot achieve this challenge here. So next would be the solar mass bonus, and this is sort of a catch-up mechanism in multiplayer, but you just skip this step entirely in solo. So now we're going to go into the next round with the resource draft. So we need to first advance this round marker to 2. My solar mass did not go up at all that round. We're going to take all the cooldown cubes off of cards, and now I draw 2 resource draft cards. I'm drawing again from the bottom, 1, 2, and let's flip these over. Oh, and I get 2 more cards as well. So let's draw these, a matter card and a siphon card. So I can either gain a minor antimatter and another minor antimatter, or I can gain 1 discovery and a major antimatter. I think I like this one better. So let's gain 1 discovery. This goes up to 4, and then 1 major antimatter. So I can pick which track to put this on. I'll put it on track 1. That way, hopefully, if I can orbit it twice, then this can get into the black hole, and this can get to spot 3. So we've done the resources. Now we go to the discovery phase. I have 4 discoveries. So I can either get the level 1 siphon, the level 1 matter, or one of the 2 level 2 orbits. And the nice thing about all the level 2s is they all have some sort of passive benefit. So I think I'm going to go with this one. I don't know that I've really tried that one before. This is going to be encouraging some more antimatter use, which I don't know if I really love that, if that's going to be that helpful for me. But that's going to cost me 3 discovery, so I go down to 1. And the passive ability is whenever I orbit a channel, which is just one of the 2 tracks, either the blue or the red, whenever I orbit a channel with any antimatter in it, orbit that channel 1 additional space. So that's it for the discovery phase. Now we go to the actions. I've got a passive ability, 1 effect I can use, and then I've got these 3 cards I can play. And these 2 siphon cards are identical. I'm going to start with this matter card, I think, which says gain 1 blue giant star, and you may place it on a wormhole. And I don't see anything in the rules differentiating whether this needs to be placed on a available wormhole or like a deactivated wormhole. I assume that if you couldn't put this on a deactivated wormhole, it would either say that somewhere in the rules, or they would have you remove these from the board or something. So I'm going to go ahead and place this on this wormhole. So that's a wormhole. So I'm going to do that. And I can't do anything else with that card. I don't have the empowered effect yet. So what else am I going to do? I think I'm going to use one of these siphon cards to gain 1 discovery counter. And then it says siphon once. I'm primordial. I'm going to go with another discovery counter and spend that card. And then I'm going to orbit once. I'm going to orbit this red channel, and because there's antimatter on it, I'm going to orbit it 2 times. So this stack goes 1, 2, this stack goes 1, 2, and this one goes 1, 2, which ends on the 3 spot, so this goes into the black hole as well. So this stack has 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then this counts as another 4. So that's 11 total solar masses that I absorb at once. So this goes to 11 now. And now these can all be removed. And that is it. I don't have any more actions I can take. So we skip the solar mass bonus. I'm going to remove the cooldown cube. And now between rounds 2 and 3, we can open all wormholes. And we can move all of these wormholes. And I think, Where do I want to move any of this? I might move... I don't know what I want to do. I'm trying to, in one orbit action, absorb at least 2 antimatter tokens. I don't know how I'm going to accomplish that. I think I'll have more luck once I get to this stellar size. So in the meantime, I'm going to leave all of these... I guess I'm going to leave them where they're at. Yep, that's fine. And then if we were playing with the resource draft like tile variant, then we could swap we would swap the tiles at this point, but that's a multiplayer thing. We're not doing that. So now we move the round marker to 3. And I am starting this round. I only went up 11 in the last round. So I'm going to move my little reminder token to the 11 spot. And now we do the resource draft, drawing from the bottom. Oh, there's one of those special cards. And we have... Let's see here. I can either gain 1 discovery marker and a primordial black hole. Those are pretty big. Or I can spend 1 discovery and gain a supergiant star, orbit once, and exchange. I keep forgetting to draw my action cards. Up to 3 action cards to gain solar mass and redraw the cards. And so if I take this one, my discovery track will go up to 4, which is not enough to afford the next orbit. That needs 5. If I do this one, it'll go down to 2, which is still enough to get either siphon or matter. So I think I'm probably going to take this one just so I can, I guess, continue up some of these tracks. So this is going to go down by 1. I can gain a supergiant. I don't know where I'm going to do that yet. I suppose on this track, gain a supergiant, and I can exchange cards. I'm going to get rid of these 2 siphons. I've had a lot of siphons. It's my first orbit. I've got these orbit cards. Maybe I'll draw some more. We got matter and matter, okay? And I did exchange 2 cards, so I gained 2 solar mass for that. So that gets me up to 13. And now orbit once. So I'm going to orbit this track. So this goes to here. And that's it for that card. And now we're in the discovery phase. And I'm going to spend 2 discovery to gain this first matter card. So I have this now. So once per turn, I can gain a supergiant. And now we start the actions phase, and I'm going to start with that action. I'm going to gain a supergiant, and let's put that here. And now I'm going to use this orbit effect to orbit once. I'm going to orbit this channel. So that moves 1. This moves 1. Oh, this moves 1. That should have moved 1 during this part too. I forgot it was there. So now that one goes into the black hole. So I gain 2 solar mass for that. 1, 2, and it goes away. And then I'm going to play this matter card to gain 1 supergiant. I'm going to put that on this red channel as well. I don't have the empowered effect. And now I'll play this orbit card to orbit twice. So I'm going to orbit this track twice. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And it only orbits... in all those orbits this round, it only orbited the normal amount, not this passive amount, not an extra time, because the passive ability here is when you orbit a channel with antimatter in it, and I don't have any antimatter. But what I do have is 1 channel with 3 separate stacks, and this challenge here says have at least 1 matter or antimatter token on 4 separate spaces within a single channel. So if I can get 1 more token here, which I will probably do without too much difficulty, then I will achieve that challenge. So once I achieve that, and if I continue to not put wormholes in spaces 5, 6, or 7, then I'll have 2 of my challenges down. I'll need 1 more that I have to complete. But I'm definitely off to a slow start, considering I'm halfway through my rounds at this point, and I'm at 15 solar masses, and I have no discovery. Oh, that's really bad. So, yikes. That is not looking good. All right, so there is no solar mass bonus, so I'm going to... We're around the 15 spot, move this reminder token again, and take off these cooldown cubes. And let's draw 2 action cards. We've got a matter card and an orbit card. And now we're going into round 4. So draw, whoops, from the bottom, there's 1, 2 resource draft cards. And I do have one of the other misprints here. All right, so what are my options? I guess I will take this one because I don't have to worry about losing the discovery because I'm already at 0, so I just have to resolve the rest. So I need to take a supermassive star and add it somewhere. I'm going to add it here, and at this time I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 on the same, or 4 occupied spaces on the same channel. So I have achieved this challenge. So I'll mark it with the cooldown cube. I immediately get 3 solar mass for that. 1, 2, 3. Next, I need to gain a major antimatter. I'm going to put that here. And then I think I will exchange 2 cards. So I'm going to gain 2 solar mass for that, 1, 2, and that gets me to stellar mass. So now I add this piece over my primordial black hole. So I'm a little bit bigger now, so I cover up those 7 spots. So my tracks are shorter, and I discover 1 core anomaly. Those are these 3. So either the beta, the gamma, or the epsilon. So I do need to draw back up here. Let's draw my cards before I forget. I get 2 cards, matter and orbit. Okay. This is taken care of. Now let's look at these 3 and choose one of these core anomalies to add to my tableau here. Ooh, and I'm going to go with epsilon. That one's pretty interesting. So I put the other 2 aside. These may become available later. But epsilon says, upon discovery, discover any non-core anomaly, so that's any of these from these 3 trees, without paying its discovery cost. It must be discovered in sequential order. So I could grab Siphon 1, one of the 2 matter 2s, so 2A or 2B, or I can grab Orbit 3. And so I'm going to grab Orbit 3, because that's pretty expensive. That's normally 5 discovery. So epsilon, this core... I'll just leave it here, I guess. This core anomaly won't do anything else for me. It's just kind of a one-time use. But now, because I am at level 3 on Orbit, I may use empowered effects on other Orbit action cards, which I have 2 of. So that's pretty handy. So that was just the resource draft. Now we go into the discovery phase. I have no discovery to spend, but that's okay because I still got a card, so that's nice. And now we go into the action phase. Oh, and I didn't even talk about what else this does. So besides being able to use the empowered effects, passive ability, I can place matter tokens on the second spaces of my black hole board. So when I get matter, I can place them here and here rather than having to place them at the beginning of the track. And then once per turn, I can do a double orbit. And so let's start with this matter effect. Gain 1 supergiant star. So I'm going to place that here. And now I'm going to play this orbit card. This says orbit twice, and also gain my empowered effect, gain 1 blue giant star before orbiting. So I'll do that here to make this a stack of 8, which is the max. And now I orbit. I'm going to orbit this red channel twice. So this goes 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2. There's no antimatter in the red track, so it doesn't get this passive ability here. But now I absorb this 1 token for 3 solar mass. That gets me up to 23. And so this card is spent. And I'm going to activate these 2 wormholes, actually. So I'm going to move this major antimatter to this spot. And then I'll use this effect. This is once per turn, orbit twice. I'm going to orbit this channel, which has antimatter in it. So my passive effect means I really get a triple orbit. So here's 1. This one goes 1, 2. This one goes 1, 2, 3. And then this one goes 1, 2, 3. And so now I absorb 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm going to go from 23 to 33. So the solar mass is increasing now. And then I suppose I will play this matter card, which lets me gain 1 supergiant star. And I can place matter tokens on the second space. So I will place it here. And there's nothing else from this card. And then I still have this orbit 1. So I will go ahead and use that. So orbit once. This goes into the black hole. This orbits 1 time. And now I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm going to go from 33 to 41. These tokens go away. And that is it for my actions. So it looks like this round I went from 15 to 41. So it's 10, 20, not quite 30. I guess that's 26. So I needed another 9 in order to... Which one was it? In one round, gained 35 solar mass. So I wasn't quite there, but I'm getting closer to it. So if I continue to keep my wormholes off of spaces 5 and 6, I don't have to worry about space 7 now, but if I keep them off 5 and 6 for the whole game, and in one round I gain 35 solar mass, which is possible, and I get up to 80 solar masses by the end, then I will win. So this is not completely out of reach. But the action phase is over, so I'm going to clear these cooldown tokens. I'm going to draw back up to 3 action cards, Orbit and Matter. And I'm going to reset my reminder token here, so I'm starting on 41. And you know what I can use this other token for? Here's the target. 76. That would be 35 growth in one round. So if I can get to this 2 or beyond it, then I know that I've achieved this challenge goal here. Now we're going from round 4 to round 5. So I open up all the wormholes, and again, I can move them. Do I want to? I think maybe yes. I'm going to throw this one up here under the 1 spot. And now going to round 5. Grab 2 more of these resource cards. I'll continue drawing from the bottom, but I've already drawn my 2 misprints, so doesn't really matter. And I guess of these 2 cards, I kind of have 0 discovery, which is really hurting me. So I can't lose the 1, so I think I might as well take the additional mass. If I thought I had some way to absorb 2 antimatter tokens in 1 orbit, then I would try and do that. But if I take this 1 minor antimatter, I don't have a good way to get a second antimatter to try and make that work. So this one's not going to help me achieve a challenge goal. So I'm going to do this one. So I would lose 1 discovery if I could, gain a primordial black hole, so that's worth 4. Oh, and that's a regular matter. I could put it on space 2, and then orbit twice 1 channel. So this channel, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now that card goes away, and now we are in the discovery phase. I don't have any discovery, so I'm not advancing any of these cards. That's not good. You kind of want to do that every round if you can. The last game that I played, I went much heavier on Siphon, and that gave me more ability to keep that discovery track going up. So I have not been playing as much Siphon as I'm feeling it now. But regardless, we go into the action phase now. And I think I'm going to start with this free action to orbit once. So this moves to here, and this moves to here. That's fine. And now I'm going to use this action to gain a super giant star. And I'm going to put it here, even though I could put it on the 2 spot. I'm going to put it on the 1. And I will play this matter card to gain another super giant. And I'll put it on that same spot and then spend the card. That's gone. And then I will use this wormhole to move to this space. Those 6. Is that what I want to do? No, I don't want to use that. Not yet. No wormhole yet. Let's put this stuff back. Next, I am going to play an orbit card, and the empowered ability says gain 1 blue giant star before orbiting. So I'm going to place that here. Ooh, although, you know what? Activating wormholes is its own action, which should probably be done it probably can't be done in the middle of this action. So let me do what I was originally going to do. Let's activate this wormhole and move the stack of 6. Then we will add a blue giant star. We'll add it to the number 2 spot before orbiting twice. So this goes in 1, 2, this goes 1, 2, and this goes 1, 2. All right, so now we've got 4, 5, 6, 7 solar masses. We're at 41, so we go up to 48. So that was this card. And these go away. And I can still take this effect. Once per turn, orbit twice. So this goes in, and this is going to go 1, 2. So that gets me another 6. I'm at 48, so that's going to go up to 54. Now I take the tokens off the board, and we have passed 50, so we are a supermassive black hole now. So we're going to exchange this stellar mass for this supermassive, which covers the 7s and the 6s now, which will absorb this token as well. I probably should have done that all at once, but that's okay. 1, 2 gets me up to 56. So that means we get to discover another core anomaly. So let's take a look at these. We've got the beta and the gamma, and I'm going to grab the beta one. I think that will help me the most with trying to, on 1 orbit action, absorb at least 2 antimatter tokens, because the passive ability here is really the opposite of this one, where I can place antimatter on the 2nd space of either of the tracks, and then I can also, once per turn, place 1 major antimatter on my board. So in lieu of trying to get 35 solar mass in one turn, I'm going to try and absorb 2 antimatter in a single orbit. That is my new goal. So we're at the end of the actions phase. I did not make it to here, so let's reset these markers. I'm starting at 56. 66, 76, 86, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I got to get to 91 to achieve 35 solar mass in one round. And we are moving now into round 6. So I've either got to do that or I've got to get 2 antimatter in a single orbit action. Now we can clear these. And then I also have to get up to 80 solar mass. So it's doable, but I got a ways to go. Draw back up to 3 action cards. So there's another matter and another matter. So 2 different matter ones. Let's grab 2 more from the resource draft. This will be my last resource draft. Ooh, so either... Man, no antimatter here, though. I was really counting on getting an antimatter. So I know I can place a major antimatter on the board as one action, but I don't see another way to be able to voluntarily place an antimatter. I was hoping I would get one on these discoveries, so I think that goal may be gone now. So if I gain the 3 discovery, that'll be enough to grab one of the second level matter anomalies, or I can grab the basic siphon anomaly. I don't know if I want that. Or if I grab this, I can exchange some cards. I don't think there's any cards that would let me place antimatter. Open all wormholes is interesting, and then gain a blue giant star worth 2 mass. So I think I'll take this one. I'll gain the 3 discovery, and then we go to the discovery phase. I'm going to immediately spend it to gain anomaly 2B for matter. So this has a passive ability, or 2 passive abilities. Each time I absorb a major antimatter, I gain 3 additional solar mass, and each time I absorb a minor antimatter, gain an additional 2 solar mass. So I'm going to be trying to push that solar mass up to 91. I don't think that's going to happen, but let's play it out. So let's start the action phase. Wait, though. I'm going to take that back. Bring these 2 cards back out. Instead of gaining 3 discovery to get this card, I'm going to put this back. I'm not going to take the card. I'm not going to take this. I'm going to take this and hope I get real lucky. So first, let's open all the wormholes. Easy enough. And gain this blue giant. And I'm going to put it on the number 2 space here, because I can do that with one of these abilities. Which one is it? This one. And now I can exchange some cards. And I'm going to exchange these 2 matter cards and hope for an orbit card. Matter, siphon, darn. All right. Will either of these help? Yes, actually, the siphon will help me. Okay. So I know I'm not going to orbit at least 2 antimatter tokens or absorb 2 antimatter in the same orbit. I don't think I am going to gain 35 solar mass in the same round, but I think in one round I can orbit a single channel at least 9 times. I think I can do that. So I've taken all 3 of these, set that aside. Oh no. I think I'm still going to be short. No. I think it'll work. Okay, this is going to be really close. I'll probably still be shy of this 80 solar mass threshold, so I'll lose anyway. But I'm going to start with this. Let's gain 1 super giant star, and I'm going to put this on space 2 here. So there's 5 matter on that space. That's fine. Now, crucially, we're going to take this action, place 1 major antimatter on your board. I'm going to place that here. And I'm going to place these 9 tokens here as counters for just a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're gonna use that to help us keep track of if we've orbited a single channel 9 times. So first I'm gonna play this orbit card, which I do have the empowered effect. So first gain a blue giant star. So I'll take that here. So stack has 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's okay. And now orbit twice. So I'm gonna orbit the red channel twice. 1, 2. 1, 2, but whenever there is antimatter on it, orbit an additional 1 space. So that's 1 more orbit. So that's 3 orbits. 1, 2, 3. This card is done. This will put these here. These are 1, 2, 3 orbits I've done. Now I'm going to do this orbit once. So that's 1, and there's an antimatter 1. So that means there's going to be 1 additional. Is that right? Oh shoot, that's not gonna work. Yeah, I was there. I went 1, 2 plus 1. 1 plus 1. Oh man, I don't know if it's going to matter. I'm going to take this one instead then. So these were here. I orbited 1, 2 plus 1. This was here. I went 1, 2, plus 1, and now I'll orbit twice, which will be 1 and 1, 2. But there was antimatter, so that counts as 3. So another 1, 2, 3, because that was 2 plus 1 with the antimatter. Now this all gets absorbed. I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I go up to 67. That is going to be not enough. But these all go away. Oh man, I'm not going to make it. I was going to be so close. Okay, because I can do this siphon card, and that allows me to siphon once, and I'm super massive, so I could have taken this orbit and then this orbit. That would have been 2 more orbits, but I'm still going to be 1 orbit shy. I thought I was going to hit 9. So I'd only be able to orbit a max of 8 times. Darn, that's not good. So how can I try and wrap this up and gain anything for it? I probably would have played this turn a little bit differently if I thought that I was not going to get all 9 of those orbits. Shoot. So now I've got a couple ways to get some matter on the board, but I'm not going to be able to get it in the black hole, unfortunately. So just a quick example. If I play this siphon card, gain 1 discovery, and siphon once, I'm super massive. I could have taken this 4, this primordial, and put it here, and then I could have wormholed over to here, and then this allows me to orbit once. That's as far as I can get. But if I had done that in sort of a different order, instead of messing around with just trying to orbit that antimatter, I bet I could have done that a little sooner and got that in and gotten another 4. Either way, it wouldn't have gotten me to 80, but that is it. So that card is spent. I have no more actions I can take. We'll go through and double check these, and do not place wormholes in the 7, 6, or 5 spaces of your board for the entire game. That is accomplished, and so I can mark that off. That gives me 5 solar mass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So even if I had managed to get that 4 in, that would go from 72, 1, 2, 3, 4 to 76. Oh man, if I had orbited a single channel 9 times, that would have been another 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 81. So if the order had been a little different, and if I was able to get that one last orbit, I was kind of close to just achieving normal. But as it stands now, I did not get to 80 solar masses, and I only got 2 out of 3 challenge effects. So this is a loss on normal mode, but that was still pretty fun. I'm glad I got to play it. So let me give you some I don't know if they're final thoughts or first impressions or maybe some of both. I've played this game a few times, again, only solo, but I have enjoyed it. I think when it was in crowdfunding, I was overwhelmed by this stack of action cards. I don't know why I thought this, but I thought there were way more unique cards in here, and I found it a little bit overwhelming, and I kind of misunderstood this action system versus these cards here, and I kind of thought there'd be like 1,000 different cards that were all unique on the table and you can kind of draft them or something, and it seemed overwhelming to me, but this is actually quite manageable. These core anomalies, these are pretty cool. I like the system of there are 6 unique ones that each player would have access to the same 6, but then you randomly draw 3 and you get to decide which one you're going to use as you achieve these different thresholds. I like that system. The tech trees, I have mixed feelings on. I like the system, but also, there's 6 rounds, and in general, you're only going to be able to get one of these anomalies per round. This epsilon makes things a little bit different, but that's pretty uncommon. So really, in general, you're going to aim to get 6 of these every game. And so that means you can either get your empowered level on any 2 of them and not touch the third, or you can fully max out one tree and touch the other one twice, or the other 2 just at the first level. And so since you're kind of pushing them kind of far, I guess the last option is you can get to 2, 2, and 2, and maybe that's the way to go, but then you don't get any empowered effects. But I feel like that just kind of keeps it on rails a little bit, where it can potentially feel a little samey, because it's just going to be, in this game, am I going to go siphon? Am I going to go matter? Am I going to go orbit? And those are kind of your options. And there's a little bit of variability with the 2As and 2Bs, but not like a ton. So it's not like a big deal. It's not a deal breaker for me. But I don't know how I feel about this system yet. I think I mentioned when I played the last game, I pushed siphon real hard. That felt a certain way. I did a little bit more of a mix, but also kind of failed at getting 2 more cards this game. I didn't do very good on discovery. Siphon was good at getting more discovery to make that happen. I've definitely pushed orbit all the way to the end before. I haven't pushed matter very far. I would like to. I kind of wanted to today, but I felt like the orbit cards made more sense today. But I don't know. I feel a little bit stuck with these. But overall, the core gameplay loop, I like it. You can be subjected to a little randomness from this action card deck. I do like that some of these cards give you the ability to exchange some of your cards. That's nice. That's not one of these standard action drafts here, or resource drafts. So it'd be nice if it was. I'm not sure if it's on the little tiles. Looks like, yes, it is. It's on some of these tiles. If I were to play multiplayer, I would definitely use these tiles after getting a little more familiar with them since the unboxing. I think that would be really cool to twice per game you swap the tiles out. So that keeps things interesting. It is a little bit of a multiplayer solitaire type game. You're kind of head down on your own board. There's not a ton of direct interaction. There's some other mechanisms that are not in solo that cause you to put antimatter on other people's boards, but it doesn't seem hugely significant. For me, that doesn't bother me. I'm fine with that type of game, but some people don't like it, and that's okay. But overall, you know what? I'm pleasantly surprised with this game. I think in my unboxing, I was a little bit overly critical on the artwork. I think there were some stylistic choices that I would not have made, but it really doesn't bother me, and it doesn't take away from my enjoyment of the game. So depending on how busy I get, you may or may not see this on the channel again, but I will certainly continue playing it. I like this game. I'm going to keep it. That's not always the case with promotional content. Sometimes, if the publisher allows me to keep it, sometimes I do, sometimes I give it away. But this one I'm going to keep. I like it. I think I'll have this one for a while. So that is my solo playthrough of Ultramassive. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'd be happy to talk to you about it. And as it should be clear, I am not super good at this game, so if you've got any advice for me, I would be happy to take some strategy advice. That is always welcome. Otherwise, be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this video, maybe share it with somebody else, and subscribe to the channel if this is the type of content you like so that you don't miss out on future videos. But that is what I've got this time on Table for One. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you had a good time. I really enjoyed playing Ultramassive, and I'll see you in the next video.